Two.
Jane's gonna start
Do we have to start the work session?
this work session.
Okay, our Economic Development Committee work session for February 3rd, 2026 is now in session.
So just for people that want to watch this, it's just sort of, we're going over the PowerPoint presentation that would eventually go before council and potentially anybody else that was interested in helping it, which could be the community groups or so forth,
Yeah.
or somebody that wanted to help fund our city street trees. Yeah.
Great.
And I would like to clarify that Angie, you did a great job with all of the notes for the last meeting, and I just misread that. I thought you were saying like, don't respond with any comments, save it, because I just sort of rushed through that, so I apologize for misreading.
So one of the things I think that's come up with the slideshow is what is a community group that helps with trees look like?
Yeah, yeah.
And no, I don't think that needs to be like a subcommittee for,
Got
right?
it.
That just needs to be a group of humans that would like a club.
Yeah, like I was just like, as I was gonna say, the community member, like it says, community collaboration, community members actively participate in decision-making to ensure the trees meet local needs and preferences. I mean, we're community members, so is that just the easy, hey, this is the trees we picked because we consulted the experts?
Sure.
Right.
And then if we had a public meeting about it, if it was us that was doing it, we had a couple of the experts here.
Yeah,
And open it to the public to come in.
Sure.
Right?
yeah,
And then if we wanted to have a sign up, I mean, Patty Parent, actually, Council Parent's very good about sign up sheets and phone calls, phone trees and stuff. So she might even want to be maybe the community liaison to all things urban forestry. Right, where she could kind of manage what that looks like and maybe create if there was need for watering. With public works, obviously, I mean, public works, they're here 24/7 in an emergency. But would we need them on a holiday Sunday in July or whatever to water a tree if the community group could do it?
Yeah.
It's kind of saves the city a lot of money instead of having to drag Jeremy down here at double time or
Yeah,
time and a half.
yeah.
But
Yeah, so with the community groups too, are you anticipating then, so with presenting this to city council, having worked through some of these potential sticking points or how to make it more feasible? And then hopefully they'll say, yes, we're on board, and then we work out.
Yep, then we next up that.
Okay.
What could happen, and has been my experience with a particular lighting ordinance, is sometimes it will get kicked back to us with, like, council doesn't want to do anything with
Okay,
what we've presented because of these three things
okay,
that they don't care for, or they want changed or whatever. And then, or maybe they want to have, council wants to have a ton of control over what kind of trees are planted. And so then it could be a community group that creates a recommendation to council. And then maybe council wants to have the final say on trees, although I would be stunned to hear, although I've been stunned in those meetings before.
yeah. Okay. I think putting together a community group, so when we, present this to city council, then it's like, all right, here's what we're envisioning, and then get some input, and then maybe next steps then with, okay, here's the community group who might want to be involved in tree selection, working, get.
Oh, yeah.
And then.
They could go with us on the field trip if that's what we end up doing.
Mhm.
Okay.
Potentially. And I do know, like, again, the Downtown Association, I brought this up in our meeting last week, and there is interest in supporting this. So we could at least get, some collaboration going in some capacity, but,
and
Supporting in with work efforts
oh, yeah.
or cash efforts.
Oh, we don't have much cash, so with work.
Sure, no,
efforts,
that's-
yeah.
that's all we always gotta ask, you know,
Yeah.
money on the table.
Yeah, but maybe there are things that could be for the trees, like.
how much
we're
are
doing-
trees?
bingo.
Yeah,
And we did bingo for the holiday, the seasonal lights. And
Mhm.
so if we're transitioning into, another community-minded project, I know we have more with the seasonal lights that right now bingo is designated for, but there is collaboration with the city on that. So maybe there are, other things. We also are putting together a quarterly community potluck. And that could be a great way with a kickoff on kickoff in April, but then July 5th, we're gonna be doing something kind of community-wide at Beulah Park for part of the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so that could be a perfect thing, these points of bringing people together to say,
Mhm.
and this is another reason, like, we could get city council involved in these potlucks. We just want to have like time together. So this is like, could be like time to, make the pitch to the
Sure.
community. So we could have some tie in there.
That's amazing. Tree selection.
Is that something that you want to add to the slides? Like, we are putting together this potluck and we want to have council involved with it, or is that something that
That might be just something
is
that
an
we just,
idea for later?
I could
or-
come and talk at, give like public comment,
yeah,
have a YDA update on that.
Okay.
When's is city council next week?
next Wednesday. Yeah, already.
The 11th. Yeah, the Wednesday after. Yes.
Yes. Okay,
So are we throwing cost and tree picking, whatever you call it, on this slideshow as well?
not yet.
Okay,
Because there's variables with, right? So one of the things being is our town's sidewalks are very narrow.
Okay.
So we believe we can get trees put in without widening sidewalks through ODOT because of our 0-foot setback rule,
Mhm.
right? Because the extra 3 feet was supposed to be for doors to swing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but they don't, they swing in,
But
right?
they all swing in because of our town being unique. Now, if ODOT is like, we don't care, you can't put them on that narrow of a sidewalk, that would create, like what Third Street did in McMinnville,
Yeah,
bump outs. Now, because then that changes all the costs
Mhm.
and that changes what everything looks like.
So should we find out first what ODOT would be mandating before we get too far?
I think it might not be the worst idea to reach out to ODOT and see what the backup plan might look like. Although the funny thing is likely they're the ones funding it.
Yes.
So that will be helpful if we do run into sticking points,
Yes,
that it's a different part of their own agency, right? I mean,
Yeah.
agencies,
yeah. So who would have the authority to call ODOT to inquire about this?
I'm pretty sure I would.
Excellent.
Okay. He's trying to get me to say that I was volunteering. That's called volunteer.
easy volunteer.
Okay. And then I was gonna go with I have a measuring wheel over to Carlton to get exactly to the inch how wide theirs is, what their narrower tree walls look
yeah.
like, that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's
And can
awesome.
you clarify, again, I was trying to report this back to the YDA, but the grant so ODOT, is this like leftover ODOT funds that then
so
what's
it was for a transportation study that,
okay,
right, the TSP is that correct?
It's for our TSP. It's
Yes,
the TGM grant that we applied
Yep.
for.
TGM grant that we were denied the year before,
We came in 5th.
Okay.
right? We're told, hey, apply for it again. We were in the process of doing that when we found out they actually put us on a line item for last year's budget, so it was kind of just stepped into it for the
Okay.
most part.
okay.
And then our planner, Walt Wondolowski, is managing that for us right now. And we have not got firm approval that it's done, but it's done. Does that make sense? Is that correct?
I believe you did get confirmation that we have.
So my thing is confirmation of funding and being funded
Yeah,
are two different things, right? So we were funded on we got funding for the Merkley grant for
Mhm.
$200,000,
Right,
and then the check hasn't shown yet. But,
Checks in the mail.
right, but I believe that's a reimbursement, so there's,
Oh, okay.
right, so there's timelines that have to be met on some of those, so. We just have to make sure that he's managed, and he's fantastic with, I mean, he's the reason that we have that grant, so.
and he has been meeting with them, so he may have
Yeah.
an update.
And I'm gonna actually be reaching out to him later today about, there's nothing on the planning agenda for this next month, there's nothing happening, so.
Mhm.
And that's not to say that our guys aren't doing a wonderful job in the
Yes.
planning commission, but actually the county planning commission is not holding a meeting because they also have nothing on their agenda.
Oh, okay,
So building slowdown, I'm
okay.
not sure what's happening, but
Okay.
there's just not a lot.
What's with the planning commission meetings? How far in advance is the agenda scheduled? And like if somebody needed something to be reviewed, like would this go to them to planning commission? Would they then have to be involved in this, or would this be like a separate?
This most likely would not have to go before planning to put trees in.
I don't, I'm not sure.
Okay.
For, generally, when someone has an application, unless there's a variance or something required for it, unless the city is requesting something that's outside of our code, when we're wanting to do something that's not allowable by our
Mhm.
code, then we would need a variance or something.
Okay,
And when we get applications, there's a period where, well, gets the application, needs time to review it before it goes through the planning. So depending on when we receive it, there's kind of a delay between when he receives it. I think he needs a certain amount of time to review it. We let them know that it's complete, and then it goes to planning on the next available meeting date.
okay.
So because he hasn't received anything by now, we already know at the next planning meeting, there's not gonna be anything on it.
So I'll reach out to him, whether there's gonna be code that has to be written for street trees, or if that's an advisable thing.
Mhm.
It might not be the worst idea to put some code in, just simply because you don't have somebody down the road that decides to plant a giant sequoia
Oh, right.
right on the corner, right?
Yeah,
To keep some bad
Yes.
decisions from happening,
Yes,
some
yes,
well-intended bad decisions.
Yeah,
yeah,
Because we're clearly-
something in there that like for like trees can only be replanted or something of that nature.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then I think the next thing would be, when we go for our, if and when we go for our, field trip, I think that'll have some pictures of what some of the tree options are
Mhm.
at various stages of maturity. And then we can make sure that where we go, we'll have those same trees. So that
Cool,
we can kind of expedite, right? Because
exactly.
walking in nature is cool, and spending 5 hours in a nursery and probably in the rain.
Yeah,
To look at trees we have no intention of getting is not
yeah,
anything I'm interested in.
no.
Yeah.
Well, and cost, right? And all those
Yeah.
things, right? Like, cause again, if we can, assuming we're being diligent, offset any of the costs with donations or whatever, or buying the tree, whatever those things
The
are.
fundraising, and then also talking with Rob Sloan, who's the nursery guy, he goes, a lot of it shipping. He goes, but
Oh,
you guys
sure.
have giant trailers and trucks from Public Works. He goes, set out a trailer with a truck and ratchet straps and
Yeah,
take care of that yourself.
And then do they
Love it.
help with the planting, or do they just advise on how best to plant?
So most likely, the way that the planning will go is our guys will do the hole digging.
Mhm.
And then Rob Sloan has offered to assist us. I don't know at exactly what level or if there'll be a charge for that,
Okay,
but to help, there's like the directional bags and the
Yeah,
installation
yeah.
of them and this being on site when the tree's selected to make sure the roots are in very good shape, right? So, because
Yeah.
I would never know,
no. me
right? If you
neither.
gave me the
Yeah.
tree that's destined to be
Yeah.
dead by
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
I would have no
I'd
idea.
still think it was great. Yeah, exactly. Hey, this looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Leaves are great, yeah. So I think it is important to have that.
okay,
That expertise and that advisor to potentially save us from,
yeah,
because if we plant them and a week later they're dead, we're gonna look foolish.
Yeah,
that's not,
No.
blame it on.
Yes. So,
kidding, that was a joke. That was a bad joke. Okay.
So just some of those details. The other thing that I was gonna do, and I was kind of disappointed because the weather was really nice earlier. I've been waiting for a nice day. I was gonna try to get some more current and better pictures of
Yes,
downtown to kind of
yes.
update those
Okay,
before and after tree shots. That was, a lot of that was just stuff I found on the internet
Okay.
and learning how to play with AI.
okay, yes, that would be great to have more. And then maybe like something from, if it's gonna include stuff from, Jane Heinrich Park too, with the trail, like some shots of that too, just.
There's actually a couple in there
Oh.
that were from Jane Heinrich. I wish that I had closed this.
Yeah, wherever this is, if
Oh,
that's an actual, if this is our. If this is our. Yeah, right there.
mhm.
I'm not sure if that's actually our area, but if it is, then.
Let's see. So if you go down past the. Let's see here. So on slide number 4. Those are all pictures of Yam Hill.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the top one there is Jane Heinrich, just
Oh,
before
yeah.
you get to the baseball fields.
Yes,
The second picture down is the parking lot at Jane Heinrich.
mhm.
And then the picture down from that is Beulah Park during
Okay.
Derby days.
Yes,
And then, of course, the downtown pictures. The slide on 5 is just. It's just a filler slide that
Mhm.
was available on the internet.
mhm.
But then I think we could have some pictures of, like, for example, like where it says, slide 15. Community input and stuff. I mean, instead of having those two cats. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that guy on the right, but he's not planting our trees. But maybe we could get some pictures of our ODOT people or, Department of Forestry and our.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
that kind
like
of
the
stuff.
actual-
Just get some more
mhm.
pictures in them that are a little bit better.
Yeah, and then this is the way it's worded to, experts provided, so will provide specialized knowledge on tree species suitable.
Sure, I see what you're saying exactly. I'm exactly.
And
right
then
there.
I thought, name the organization and
Okay.
expert there too.
And then as we get farther along, that one might be one that we could go back to, because sometimes the grant money, if we need other grant money, or if there's other grant money to be had, this work in itself and showing that work has been done
Oh,
helps to get that grant money.
yes,
So like all of it's done, we just need the check.
yeah,
And then, so then we would go back to the past tense.
yes, yeah. Yes,
Okay. And then I thought also with some of the aesthetic living and lifestyle improvements, some of the little lists there, I felt like at the time when I was putting it together, it was okay. But now I'd kind of like to have more economic development stuff in that.
yeah, yeah,
And then as far as public safety goes, there was actually a whole article on street trees actually slow traffic down.
that would be great to include that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
include that as well.
especially on,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the, yeah, the aesthetic. I'm wondering, like, from some other towns that may have done this, like, if they had any kind of a pitch, I could ask the Oregon Main Street Network, so
Oh, yeah.
they'll say, hey, does anybody do that on this?
No, that would be huge, because I mean, gosh, if anybody would know, it's those guys.
Yeah, so, cause all the communities are on there, it's like, all right, and cause people are constantly putting out like, hey, our town wants to do this, anybody have any experience? And then all the managers report back
Okay.
on tree planting benefits, okay.
And then what I'll do too is, with those photographs, I'll cite what the picture is of,
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
right? So that way people, right, because again, it could just be it's easy to get internet photos. I had to drive around,
Mhm. You know, if,
although one of them's just stock photo.
yeah, and so maybe like other side of the street too, you know, you can like outside.
Yeah.
City Hall or just, yeah, just kind of more.
And then one that I'd like to get for before or after too, and I really don't know if it's something that I'm able to do or not. But just to get a nighttime photograph and then have those trees actually with Christmas lights on.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would
Like,
be
cause if
rad.
you could set that off,
100%.
I mean, it took me a while to convince the AI to actually give me a proper looking tree,
okay.
but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we took for the YDA when we were putting together materials for our bingo, light up the town information and like promotional stuff. Kara and I took a picture of like the brick building and kind of looking at T&E at dusk. And then our
Oh, you have those?
designer person then like took out, there was like, that's when they were doing all this work on like the, like there was like utility stuff going on too. But anyway, she completely like fixed it, put lights on all the buildings, did all this magical stuff.
Okay, so I think a lot of that's in Photoshop proper.
Yeah,
Which would be really cool to have, and I do not have.
okay,
But I bet we could do that. If you wanted to send me any of those pictures, that would be really
Sure,
cool too.
yeah,
Just so I
yeah.
have more to work with. We have anything more for the slides?
let me see. Those were the only little tidbits I had. Okay, so on 5. I think more with the goals, and this is where we get more verbiage, I think that could help. You know, the project aims to expand tree canopy along city streets, so, you know, like, maybe like say downtown Yamhill or, you know, the main, you know, Maple Street or wherever we want to put them.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea right there.
Exactly,
On Maple Street.
yeah. You know, you know, that core of, you know, kind of flowery, make it a little more like.
I think flowery is the right way to say it.
Okay,
Yeah. But I can help you with verbiage on that. too.
Okay.
So I'll see if anybody else has anything. I can help with that. Slide 5. And then for slide 17, then you'd get that info from your tree expert on
yeah,
what logistics are there.
yeah, because I think like soil preparation, I mean, it's not gonna be, it is gonna be soil preparation, but that should be more like planting method. Right,
Yeah,
which is to
yeah.
remove overburden to get to
Yeah.
virgin soil and replace,
Yeah.
right, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And maybe can you find like photos of other towns, like around their trees, like what this looks like? And we talked about like having like the bricks and the
Okay, yeah,
fundraiser
sure.
stuff.
And maybe bricks versus pushed up sidewalks,
Yeah.
because that will be something that somebody comes in.
Mhm.
And then the site assessment, I think that should be something that maybe we even go out with that wheel and talk about how many feet back
Yeah.
and what does that look like? Because everybody's gonna say if you plant them too close to the corner, we won't be able to see, and they're not wrong. But maybe we should say there's 3 trees on this block and they're
Yeah.
16 feet apart and this, right? That kind of a thing.
Exactly, yeah.
So with the grant, with the leftover funds, so is that just, we have to like put together the proposal to get the leftover funds? But most likely it's fairly positive that those are coming to Yamhill?
Yeah. And again, we're talking to Walt, because of this work being done, because it was kind of like, hey, if you have anything, throw that in here.
Yes, yeah,
And it's like, well, not only do we have something, we have something we've actually been working on.
Right.
And this is what we've got.
Mhm.
And he was like, that's very good.
Good.
So. Right, because nobody wants to have some, like, would you like to pay for my half-baked idea?
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to this well thought out,
Yeah,
beautiful
oh, of
thing,
course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So with getting this for city council, what do you think realistically?
so it should be, honestly, that this is done today
Okay,
and sent to Angie. But because I think it's just going to say for the council agenda, there will be a PowerPoint presentation regarding street trees. That gives us up until 6 o'clock on next Wednesday to,
Because you guys have a running economic development committee report on the council agenda, we're gonna put it under there. And we're just
Okay.
gonna add slideshow presentation. And you
Great.
guys are gonna have it all ready and pretty for that.
okay,
Yeah.
great, okay.
so yeah, what we can do is, I'll just start working on this afternoon.
Okay,
And I don't think it's gonna take a lot. I have to find a picture of the Allisons, the two
oh,
forestry people are both named Allison. So
oh, okay.
I refer to them as the Allisons.
The Allisons,
So,
just like the hotel, the
yes,
Allison. Okay.
but we have multiple in DML.
We do.
All right, and so I'll run over to Carlton this afternoon and measure their streets in a very suspicious way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll all work out great.
I'll put on a
I'm sure.
hard hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your Yamhill Public Works
sure. I do have a public
vest,
works hat.
and then, okay, so it's next Wednesday, the 11th.
Yes,
Okay,
But we are basically mimicking them, right? As opposed to like the McMinnville problem, right? We're mimicking Carlton.
so Carlton still has street push-up.
Okay.
So they have issues with their sidewalks. That was not
Got you.
at all what we wanted to do here.
No, yeah.
They have the one thing that we're mimicking is their very small opening.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause
So-
I just walked by those trees the other
Yep,
day.
I'll be taking note of that too, and what the exact footprint is and what that looks like. But yeah, and some of the things that were very important to some people that I've talked to is even if you have to do bump outs into the street, do not get rid of our horse rings,
oh, yeah.
right? Like, absolutely not.
Mhm.
Sure.
Like, that should be something that always.
Yeah.
If that's not in code, it should be.
Yeah. Mhm. So.
How many
what-
horse rings are out there?
I could speak to, there's not a lot.
Could you put them around each tree? Like, could you just put a tree in and have the horse rings around it?
Oh, the horse ring's just a little brass ring or a metal
Oh,
ring.
they're not
in the
a
curb.
pole.
It's,
Yep,
Oh.
not on a pole, just on the, into the curb
Oh,
itself.
okay. I
Yep.
thought it was on a pole somewhere, but
No, no.
anyway, yeah,
No, like literally just anchored into the curbs.
gotcha. Then I definitely haven't noticed them. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay,
They're super subtle until you see it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah. They're old timey.
Yeah.
So where did my question go? It was in my head and then it left. Oh, okay. So talking about like the bump outs and then how does this, and I'm sure I've asked this question like 4 times already and I apologize, but like, how does this, not asking it today, but so with this grant money and what we're doing, like potential with like the crosswalks and the safe passage to schools, does this fit in that whole like scenario as well of
So those should be,
doing things?
those are different things. So doing the bump outs that would all happen mid-block. Or all the
Okay.
crosswalks would happen at the end of the block.
Okay,
So they would be separate and I don't think they would compete or one would enhance or detract from the other.
They wouldn't have to happen at the same time
I
if
don't
this
think so, no.
project is
Nope.
going on. Okay,
I wouldn't see why they would.
okay.
Yeah. And so with crosswalks too, and this. Upset our reporter with the sidebar that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But it was kind of cool, crosswalks, local citizen sent in an idea of having a sort of bucket attached to a pole with little flags for school children when there are no crosswalk people. So they can walk across the street with their own flag and deposit it on the other side. I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Or any pedestrian.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, I did not turn down my phone today.
All right, yeah, so we can have this put together enough for city council next week.
Yeah.
Okay. And then would you be presenting this?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, and I think too, that we could probably have it on your machine, right, for the council meeting, just like we do. And then maybe you and I could, I can have a script and you can have comments.
Okay.
If that works, or vice
Sure.
versa, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Have you gone through the whole, like this version of the slideshow, Angie?
Have I personally?
Yeah,
Oh.
because I'm on this one and there's a blank, oh, see, that's so weird. Yours is fine. See, I have like random blank dots or slides. And I'm not really sure
Oh.
why. I just want to make sure you didn't. Because I'm realizing it as I'm looking at hers.
Which ones are showing up blank on yours?
17 and 4.
Oh, weird.
17 should be phases of planting and site preparation.
I saw it on hers
Yeah.
and I see it up there and I just don't know why it's not coming here, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't. I mean, it looks, yours is completely normal, so you're good. I just wanted to make sure as you were going through, you're like, oh, it's just a blank slide. I'm not sure why I have blank slides, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
either way.
If I needed a drink of water, would I just grab a cup from the kitchen or are there
Yeah.
paper cups someplace?
Cut from the kitchen, and then there's the water. Oh, you know what? Here I have to. Would you like a bottle of water?
Okay.
Oh.
Sharing.
Sure, if you have one. Thank you. Obviously you do, because you're offering.
Yeah.
Be careful. Thank you. Thank you.
Very cool. So then, and then next Wednesday, before next Wednesday, we'll get this hopefully emailed back out. You guys can take a quick look at it.
Mhm.
And if there's any, I'll be around Wednesday afternoon. Unless something changes for
Okay.
me. But then, so any final updates we can take care of. And the thing is too, is even going before council, that likely won't be the last update for this, because who knows what it'll be used for in the future.
Mhm. Yeah, and then there may be, no doubt, there will be questions and comments from that meeting that will inform how you want to shape the slides further, so,
Well, cool. I think that gives us a good,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wednesday, I have to leave for a work trip on Sunday, but I get back Tuesday night late, but I'll be back in position on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'll be around.
All right, wait.
Excellent. So John, do I close out this work session?
Sure.
Okay, our work session is adjourned.
Now adjourned.
You're.
We can break or just move right into the meeting.
And then we,
Boom, right there.
okay. So I will now close this. And I will start, okay. Are we on? Okay, the DML Economic Development Committee regular meeting is now for February 3rd, 2026 is
Yeah.
now in session.
Okay.
I believe it's February already.
I know, right?
Okay, so any public comment?
There's no one online, no one in the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something, this is through kind of an Oregon Main Street, Yamhill Downtown Association update, if I can include it in this portion of the program, if that makes sense,
Sure.
very brief. So I did mention the or the potluck, but the other thing is there is an Oregon Main Street workshop online, just for an hour, going over the Diamonds in the Rough grant. And that is with the grants coordinator. And that is on February 25th from 11 to 12. I did send that information on to Jaden and Stephanie because they know that they're interested in that for their future project with their building, and they were already aware of it, so that's good. But if there's anybody else who's interested in attending that, it's open to anyone if there are other property owners who are interested in applying for that. So I wanted to mention that. And then also, I registered for the government ethics class. The 17th. And that's it.
That's what Angie sent us, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Gonna be fun. Okay. All right, that's it for my public comment. All right, unfinished business. So I met with Caitlin Abrams, the National Register Coordinator with the Oregon State Historic Preservation Office. And to ask her some questions and try to get more clarification around historic designation. So I think the more I go into this, the more confused I get. It's very confusing. Then we had a meeting, there was an Oregon Heritage board, or excuse me, Oregon Main Street, like meeting, like a 2-day meeting. In the part that I attended, there was some information on Oregon Heritage and National Register of Historic Places and some information, sort of like a deep dive into that as well. And so I think talking to other communities could be helpful. I learned that Baker City has done something through as a certified local government. Do we know if Yamhill is involved in that certified local government effort? You know anything about that? Okay. So they have buildings on their downtown National Registry of Historic Places. And I think they could be helpful. Also, there's different things around the tax incentive programs, depending on which level of involvement you are. So I was hoping to get more clarification at that meeting. But again, it's like the more you learn, the more confused you get. City of Dallas has historic designation. And they use one grant cycle to do the survey. So there's a council certified local government grant program. They use one grant cycle to do a survey of their property, then another grant cycle to do community engagement. So the person who is in charge of the Council of Local Governments section of this part of the Oregon State efforts. She's also the one who's in charge of the grants too. Curry Gill.
Through the cog.
No. Certified local, through the state historic preservation.
Okay.
So the Oregon, like the Oregon Main Street
Mhm.
umbrella, Oregon Heritage, that's the term. So going back then, so I did have this meeting set up then with Caitlin Abrams. And she kind of, what she was telling me sounded like it was completely different than what I reported with Evan West, what he had explained. So that also was added to the confusion because I was under the impression that if you have a national registry of some sort, then it's really restrictive. But she said, actually, if you have local, there's more restriction. So I'm just gonna kind of like cruise through my notes here, okay?
Yeah.
Bear with me. And
Yeah.
sorry, this is, so she said, the local designation has more teeth. The National Registry requires consent. So if you have a National Historic District, the owners can reject this. If you have up to 50% of the property owners involved, if they reject it, then you can't do it.
Just saying we're a national historical site or downtown.
Downtown.
Okay.
Yeah,
So to put all of the downtown on the National Historic Registry, if half the building owners are like, yeah, we don't want that, then you can't do that.
right.
And is there
that
a
seems
reason,
fair.
is there a reason they wouldn't want that? Is it maintaining buildings, like what, something,
It could be
there has to
something
be a
about,
reason.
yeah, and then she said too that it would be, you know, like, could there be, you'd have to find out like historic designation versus local, like to ask insurance providers about this, like what can the impact be? If somebody has to like, you know, their building is on this designation, has this designation, and then, you know, there's fire, water damage or something, and then
You have to bring it up to code towards the, what it is, the
Yeah,
designation.
yeah. So, I'm not giving any clear, real information here, but it sounds like the next step, what she suggested was talking to Curry Gill. And Caitlin said she'd be happy to hop on a call and answer questions, because again, I think that, because I get, you know, information, the questions I ask, I write my notes, and then there's a lag between getting that and then coming here to report back.
Mhm.
And then I think it's just different people having
For
different
sure.
questions would be better. So there's tax benefits with the National Registry.
For who?
For like the owner, like home,
For the businesses, basically.
yeah, like the
Gotcha.
people own the business, yeah, the buildings. But anyhow,
But one thing doesn't happen to have to happen without the other. I mean, they could theoretically both occur,
yes.
local and national at the same
Yes,
time.
yes. But there's, again, I think talking to Curry to get more on the certified local government and then find out really what's the most appropriate tool for the goals of the city. And again, because if you've got certain buildings that are not really considered historic, and because we have this sort of like these
Yeah.
gaps. And then the other thing is, I was connected with, and we have not had the opportunity to meet yet, but the woman from the city of Salem, who was going to explain how they did their neighborhood, like different certain heritage neighborhoods. And so that is something that is them through this certified local government community. So again, I talked to Curry Gill on what does it mean to be a certified local government community, and then find out, okay, we're saying this is the Beverly Cleary neighborhood, or, you know, or whatever.
Gotcha.
The
Yeah.
historic, and so that is more recognition of historic importance at the local level. But I don't know, after I heard that, and then I heard what Kate Abrams was saying, it sounded like it was gonna be more restrictive to have that certified local government, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, clear?
Sure, I guess, yeah.
So, but I do think, being on this, workshop that I was in, or just this meeting, our 2-day meeting, and then when I had my section, when they were, going into the, talking about the historic examples, different things that different towns have done, I really think it would be great for somebody besides just the YDA to be on Oregon Main Street calls, because there are these wonderful, like, resources, programs that go beyond exactly what the YDA is doing, that really do impact what the city is doing. And so there's a lot of crossover. Other things that they were talking about was like, like historic cemeteries. And it's like, oh, well, and I was thinking, well, our cemetery is not downtown, but actually you could do something and get grant money, and then that could be like a tie-in. It's like, oh, there's a sign here, like, go see Yam Hills Historic Cemetery. And so there's like things and money and efforts that can be done that can kind of lift up everybody.
Nice.
So. Any questions that I can't answer?
No, that's good. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So as far as like next steps with this, I could, if you guys want more clarification, I believe what Walt was gonna attend the SHPO conference, and so I don't know if this is more like up his alley, if it's more Walt understanding these things.
And I'm gonna reach out to him like this afternoon,
Okay.
hopefully.
Okay,
And then kind of see what his opinion is on that too. before we
okay,
start next
yeah, see
meeting.
if he knows anything about the
And I might throw that in as like even a email to you or something before.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
To both of you.
okay,
Do you want me to my insurance agent is in downtown McMinnville. I'm
Mhm.
sure she's dealt with historic,
oh, yeah,
I can find out what the rates are differently, right?
Yeah.
Like,
is that Christine Andrus?
no, Heidi Moore,
Okay,
she's just
yeah,
with Country or whatever it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, I can ask like, hey, what's the, because I guess the question I would have would, if there's tax deferments or tax whatever
Yeah.
involved in joining the national version of this, but then you're insured, like, is it a wash, right? Like, do you get to, yeah, you might have more insurance, but you're getting a tax abatement somewhere, right? With however
Yeah,
it works.
Well, because I think also the historic, if I understood it correctly, if you go to the historic status, the building in its entirety needs to be maintained as historic, including the inside.
Yes,
Whereas a historic district could have the illusion of
Yes.
being a historic place,
yeah.
but the inside could be modern as the day is
Yeah.
long.
Yes, yeah. So what I will do, so for next steps for me too, is I will set up a time to talk to the woman from Salem.
So that was kind of my question, and forgive me if I'm not following. Are we looking at design standards that we just want everything to look like it used, or are we looking at literally making everything all be made to the historic standards? Because I think when you start getting the historic designations, that means that when you start to remodel something, that's where they
Yep.
say that you can't just throw plywood down and paint it and call that a floor type. You can't have.
Or true to historic fashion at Yam Hill, yes, you can, because that is by
Yeah.
definition what we have.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
have
just-
plywood floors in my house.
I'm for plywood floors, for the record.
I'm
I'm
wondering, just understand,
Yeah.
I'm not,
right.
that was an example.
I
Yeah.
know,
Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, I know, yeah.
But where it makes it harder for somebody to take care of their property because they have to maintain it at a different
Yeah.
standard versus.
I think that, yeah, finding out what this, local, version from Salem, so the Heritage Neighborhood. Recognition of historic importance at the local level. It really seems like that is what we want. And then if there is some. And according to,
So-
what, there's teeth to it, but it's just more like our naming. It's not really like our.
So historic designation at the local level is us saying this is historic, so what? So you have to do it by our design?
I don't know. I think
And
it's more
our
like
design
saying like,
is not to look.
I think this is more like, I thought we just wanted to like the city council wanted to like declare Yam Hill, historic Yam Hill. Or,
Well, or
Like,
I think the
downtown.
conversation's been around the downtown business district.
yeah,
Yeah,
That overlay, the central
Yeah.
business district.
yeah, yeah. I think we need to get one of these experts from the state to meet with everybody who's interested.
sure.
And so
Yep.
I don't know what that, and I don't think they can really travel right now too, so this would have to be some kind of a
Zoom.
Zoom meeting, but we could do that. So I guess if you guys let me know or how we would want to organize that.
Well,
You
if we
tell
don't have,
me.
if I was gonna say, if we don't have anything for March 3rd, can we have it on the day of our meeting?
Oh.
Yeah, that would be perfect if we could do that.
Cause you don't have anything, I mean, we're gonna figure out, I mean, I guess adjustments to the next schedule is depending on what happens with the slideshow. But yeah, if you can, I don't know who you would know the people, but yeah,
Yes,
whoever, hey,
I-
can you pull a 3:30,
Yeah, okay.
3:30 to 4, quick meeting on Zoom with us?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, I'll see what I can line up. Is that good, Angie? Is that?
I don't know what my
Sure.
question is.
Okay.
I don't know what I don't know what
Well,
the
and I-
answer is, so
and I-
still.
If
Yeah.
we can schedule an information gathering meeting with somebody from the Oregon Heritage Department.
So if we reach
Or-
out to them early, like real or like now for next month and get commitments from them, then we can just put that onto the agenda
Yeah,
as they are speaking at the meeting on
Mm.
this topic, yeah?
To ask them what we want.
To get clarification on the options.
The pros and cons to this versus that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to better understand what the different scenarios are and what makes the most sense for what Yamhill wants to do.
Cool. So let's find out, yeah, if those people are available.
Okay.
And then again, we have to let Angie, because if we miss that. And what I have learned is the 7-day deadline, don't make, like, that's like the last. It's better before.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've noticed if you just put everything is good, Angie's always really happy.
Oh, for sure.
Angie, you're very.
She's all very happy anyway, and we couldn't do any of this without her.
Herding cats. I was-
Oh, for sure. That's what she
Yeah.
does. All right, well, I think that's good, yeah,
Okay, all right,
for the meeting
okay,
for next.
wonderful. All right, then, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the February 3rd meeting.
Okay.
Second.